Hey, American contractors, viewers of the American Contractor Show. I'm here with John Dye at Win the Storm, and I have to tell you, anyone that is associated with American Contractor Show, you are a badass.
Big shout out to American Contractor Show. If you don't know, you definitely need to check out the Storm Summit. They're doing it in excellence. Check them out.
Hey, what's up? This is your friend, Francisco Serrano. If you haven't checked it out, American Contractor Show, YouTube channel, Facebook channel, Twitter, Instagram, all the platforms, you need to go them, like them, start learning about your craft.
Hey, I'm Matt Danskin with Restoration Referral System. Check out the American Contractor Show. The truck that they've got is awesome. Everything else that they have going on.
This is Larry Bache with the Merlin Law Group, helping policyholders for more than 30 years. If you have a claim or your client has a claim that needs help, please feel free to call the Merlin Law Group because we are the true policyholder advocate.
C3 was eager to help us, and even whenever we weren't giving them work, they were still eager to give advice. The things that they were putting out for the pertaining from DMO to RFG and giving that to the industry and not charging anything for it, I thought was really cool. And that's stuff that I, as a contractor, appreciate. I'd recommend C3 to any contractor that's looking for a PA, especially if you're around Colorado. Great guys, man. I'm nothing but happy with the work they've done for us.
What's up, everybody? I'm meteorologist Andrew Myers, back to bring you guys your daily hail forecast, sponsored as always by C3 Group, Merlin Law Group, and American Contractor. You guys can go ahead and check them out in the description to this video. For today's weather, we got hail chances in the North Plains as well as gusty winds and tornadoes possible, so we're going to check in on where and when that's going to be, and then into tomorrow it's kind of the same story, gusty wind and hail possible, shifting a little bit east into the Midwest for Wisconsin and Minnesota. Like I said, kind of a similar risk to today going into tomorrow. And then last but not least, you guys know the drill. We're going to check in on the tropics. We had Hurricane Henri that moved through the western Atlantic through the past few days, weakened as it moved into the U.S. coastline. And as that continues to weaken, we have two more tropical disturbances on the horizon. So we're going to see what those are going to do over the next few days. But before we get into our weather, let's talk a little bit about our upcoming events here. If I can, oh, I'm pressing the wrong button, guys. Let's talk a little bit about our upcoming events now here. This is the Thunder Road Race for Recovery. This is going to be at the Oklahoma Motorsports Complex on September 15th. So coming up quick here, guys. If you guys want to race some go-karts, you can also sponsor this event. That's all possible to do through our Linktree link, and this is going to be tons of fun. 100% of the proceeds are going to their charity Roofers in Recovery. So you guys can race for a good cause, and these go-karts are some serious business. They go very fast. We did this for our company event, and it was so much fun, guys. So if you guys want to race or sponsor this event, you guys, like I said, can do that through the Linktree link to this video, and make sure to do that quick because it is coming up soon. And then into yesterday, before we get into today, we want to see what went on. So we had a scattering of hail reports all the way through the Central Plains there, as well as some hail and wind along the East Coast. So let's just zoom on in and see what happened. So through North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, and Minnesota, we got a couple of hail reports through there, as well as some gusty winds. Hail over 2 inches was accompanied with some of these storms as they passed through yesterday evening into yesterday night. And then along the East Coast, like I said, scattering of wind reports as well as some hail just on the very far eastern part of Virginia yesterday. So pretty quiet, gonna probably stay quiet into today. Not gonna be a whole lot of storms to go around, but we still could get some hail. So looking into our current conditions, clear and sunny across most of the country here, and then across the East Coast, we actually have now tropical depression Henri moving through this area. It moved through the Long Island area, made landfall in Rhode Island, and now it's just continuing to spin away in the New England area for the next couple of hours. That's going to continue to move northeastward off the coast here, and as it does, it's going to continue weakening as it's over land and then starts to move over those colder waters. Just not a great environment for tropical development, so conditions should continue to improve for you guys through New England as Henri continues to weaken through today into tomorrow morning. Then for our risk area for hail and wind into today, so that's going to be again through North Dakota, South Dakota, all the way through Minnesota and the whole northern plains area. Plenty of sunshine to go around there, just a scattered little bit of clouds through here and there, but mostly sun, mostly daytime heating to get us nice and warm, and get us ready for those thunderstorms to develop later on this afternoon. Then I want to show you guys our current temperatures because you know it's unpleasant. We are in the 90s through the southeast here, plenty of heat, plenty of humidity to go around. Not a ton of storm development possible though. Mostly it's going to be up here through the northern part of the US, like we talked about, northern plains risk. And you can see that temperature shift all the way from the 90s down into the upper 70s once you get into Chicago. And that's what we're looking at all the way through the North Plains here. We move from those oranges and those reds down into those greens and blues. And with that, that's going to be our cold front, and that's what's going to move through that unstable environment and trigger those storms later this afternoon and evening. So ahead of that cold front, we are going to get some instability along with the heat, the humidity, and that front moving through. So you can see that around 7 p.m. we're getting lots of high CAPE values moving through Iowa, through the central and northern part of Nebraska, as well as southern South Dakota. So with those, we could get some storm development along through that area into this afternoon and evening. And then as the sun goes down, CAPE goes down with it once again. So that's what this is going to look like on radar here. Moving into the early afternoon hours, pretty quiet. But then by 8 p.m., a couple of isolated storms moving through South Dakota. It's going to be very scattered today. And that is going to miss our peak CAPE that we saw around 7 p.m. These storms are going to develop a little late on that, so it's probably not going to get all of that instability that we're seeing with those high CAPE values into this afternoon and evening. So that's not so good for large hail development. However, we could still get a couple of these storms that really get going, producing maybe hail up to golf ball size through the region into tonight. So that's 8 p.m. The storms are going to continue to move eastward through North Dakota, blowing up into the overnight hours, and mostly going to be a wind risk with these storms as they kind of cluster up and move off to the northeast into the evening and overnight. So like I said, max hail size is going to be probably golf ball into this afternoon and evening, just because, again, we're missing that peak CAPE, and we do have some capping issues, and storms are going to be very scattered. So pretty quiet day in terms of storms for most of us, but any of us that are in the path of some of those stronger cells could get hail up to golf ball size. Which leaves us with our hail forecast into this afternoon and evening. So this is what we've got for you guys. $1 to $50 anywhere from North Dakota into Nebraska, all the way far eastward into the southern part of Minnesota. And then through where we saw that high CAPE and that instability with that cold front sagging southward, that's the area that's likeliest to see some large hail with those scattered storms moving through. So if you guys are in Fargo, if you are in Sioux Falls, if you are in North Platte, you guys are all at a low end of seeing hail tonight into this evening, just because, like I said, we saw those storms super scattered through this area. But again, any of those stronger cells could produce hail in the ping pong to golf ball size range. Could hit you Sioux Falls if you get a cell over you. You guys got plenty of instability to go around, so you could get a larger hailstone or two. But again, it's all going to depend on where those scattered storms develop into this evening. Then we're also going to have a wind risk for you guys, wind and tornado as well. So we've got wind chances all the way from North Dakota into Nebraska, and then into Minnesota and Iowa again. Could get some gusty winds, tornadoes possible, particularly with that one cell that we pointed out earlier. It's going to be an isolated cell. Could produce some large hail and possibly some spin-ups as well in the Nebraska and South Dakota corridor. So we're going to want to watch that. But if you guys, again, are in Fargo, Sioux Falls, if you guys are in North Platte, Rapid City, or even Minneapolis, you guys could get some gusty winds later this evening into tonight as those storms pass through. And then obviously we do have Depression Henri that is moving through, but that is well below severe limits. We're mostly looking at some spin-ups and tornadoes possible with that, which we've already seen this morning. That could continue over the next few hours into this evening, but again, Henri is weakening quickly as the day goes on, so those conditions, like we said, should continue to improve. Then for tomorrow, so we're going to have our risk shift off to the east into the Midwest. So we're looking at these storms early on, kind of moving on through, but as we get into the early afternoon hours, these storms are going to move off into Wisconsin and form this band. And so the issue we have with hail here is that we've got plenty of instability in Wisconsin. And as those storms move through, if they were singular, they could form some good sized hail in that area. However, look at that band that's forming. Storm mode is important here. Probably going to do lots of wind with this band of storms that's pushing through. We could still get some severe hail along with it, but probably very scattered. So mostly a wind threat, and then as that moves into Green Bay by 3 p.m., you guys could get popped with some good wind. Then as it moves into the Michigan area, into the afternoon and evening hours, going to start to break up a little bit, and our wind threat will go down along with our hail threat into tomorrow. So, and then those are going to continue to move off into the Ohio River Valley as mostly just some loud thunderstorms, which is what, or leaves us with what our hail risk is going to look like in the Midwest into tomorrow. $1/4 to $1/2, no surprise there, through Minnesota, through Wisconsin, since we do have those banded up storms. So again, if you guys are all the way from Fargo into Omaha, low end chance of seeing hail for you guys. And then anywhere in this corridor is likeliest to see some larger hail into tomorrow and likeliest to see hail in general. So if you guys are in the, I forget what the city is, just north of Minneapolis. Wait, what is it? Duluth. Thanks, Frank. Yeah, it's up Duluth all the way down into northwest of Milwaukee. That's the likeliest to see some hail as well as gusty winds into tomorrow, but how it should, again, with storm mode, stay mostly a wind threat. Then Minneapolis, Des Moines, and Milwaukee, you guys could also see $1/4 to $1/2 sized hail into tomorrow afternoon and evening. Then last but not least, our 5-day tropical outlook. So we saw Hurricane Henri move along and then weaken into a tropical storm, then a depression along the New England coastline. No surprise there, it is moving into less conducive conditions. So into the next few days, we could see these tropical storms or tropical disturbances start to develop a little bit as they move into better conditions. So we have this first area of a disturbance that has no chance of forming over the next 2 days. We're leaving that at a 0. But as it moves up into this yellow swath area, this is going to be those nice warm waters that we need for that hurricane development. So as it moves into that area, we're leaving it at a 30% chance once it moves up into the warmer part of the Atlantic, and we could see it develop a little bit. Then for our second disturbance, same thing, 0% chance in the next couple of days as it is not over conducive conditions, moving just north of South America right now, so it's getting that dry land air that it's moving into. But once we move into the Caribbean, where it's nice and warm, low wind shear, all the things that hurricanes like to develop, we'll see that start to have a chance at development into yet another tropical named system into the next 5 days. So next 2 days probably won't see much. We're going to see Henri continue to weaken, and then over the next 5 days, we could see our tropical chances start to pick up once again through the eastern or through the western Atlantic as these tropical disturbances start to move into that area. So we want to make sure that we keep an eye on it. And we will always keep you guys informed for our tropical chances as well as our severe chances. So if you guys want to get in contact with us, and if you guys always want to make sure that you follow our videos so you stay informed for all your severe weather chances, you can follow us on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Hit See First on Facebook so you never miss a live video. And then if you want to get in contact with us, you can call us at 855-334-4245. You can also email us at info@hailtrace.com or check out our website, hailtrace.com, for more details. As always, it is a pleasure giving you guys your severe weather information, and we will keep you guys updated on what we have next. But for now, I'm meteorologist Andrew Myers. Thanks for watching.